Hey, y'all. This is Soul Sessions with Lyss, and I'm your host, Lyss. I am so grateful and thankful for each and every one of you for tuning in. This week, we are going to talk about the Spring Equinox, which is happening on Friday, March 20th. Okay? This is the new year of astrologers. We're not talking about back in January when the Gregorian calendar told us it's the new year. At that point, the earth is dormant and in a point of introspection. When we come around to spring, the earth is in full bloom. It is rebirth, it is renewal. Okay? So, I want to take the time in this episode to talk about this energetic reset of balance, rebirth, and renewal in not only astrology, but some aspects of the diaspora as well. So, first and foremost, let's explain what exactly the equinox is. The spring equinox marks the beginning of spring within the northern hemisphere. At this point, the sun is right on the equator, which creates the perfect balance of day and night. The earth comes back to life at this point. The trees, they get green again. The flowers begin to bloom. So, rebirth and renewal are a common theme around spring, right? So, when you think of Easter, you think of the bunny and eggs, fertility, rebirth. That's all that you're getting when you think of spring. But from an astrological standpoint, this is what many astrologers, as I previously mentioned, mark as the new year. At this point, the sun enters Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Okay. Aries is a cardinal fire sign ruled by Mars. Okay. So when we talk about Aries, we talk about the energy of being an initiator, the courage, the passion, new beginnings is what we think of when we think of Aries and Mars. Okay. Aries is also the ruler of your first house. Your first house is the house of self. Okay, so this is where your vitality and your life force lives. With the energy of Aries, this is the perfect time for us to step into the intentions and the visions that we want to set for the new year versus when we were told to do it back in January of the Gregorian calendar. The energy of Aries supports this rebirth, this renewal, this stepping into a new season for ourselves. Okay. So I want y'all to take some time and use that energy of the Aries so that you can set up a good life and good intentions for yourself. Okay. And as we all know, I am a lover of astrology, but I am also a bookworm at the same time. And I take time and I learn about different things throughout the different diasporas. Okay. So we're going to take some time to visit some things across the African diaspora that also support the energy of rebirth and renewal. Okay. So the first one I want to touch on is Kongo Cosmology. Okay. In Kongo Cosmology, it is a circular cycle of life. Okay. So it is divided into four quadrants. Okay. And these four quadrants are marked by the sun's movement. Okay. So the first one that you have is going to be sunrise, which would be the birth and the beginning. Then you have noon, which is your maturity and power. Then there is sunset, which is your transition from this earthly realm. And then you have midnight, which is the ancestor slash spirit realm. Okay. When I looked at this, what I seen off rip was the four seasons. Okay. So just bear with me as I go through this. Sunrise could be representative of spring. Okay. Noon to be representative of summer. Sunset to be representative of fall. And midnight to be representative of winter. Okay. So think of this in terms of how the equinox represents the sun at the horizon. Okay. The sunrise and noon part are going to be your time to take action within life. So there's your spring and your summer, and your sunset and your midnight are going to be the fall equinox, which is going to be that more time when we take time to go into ourselves and do that reflection and introspection. Okay. So when I'm talking about this, I'm metaphorically speaking, of course, because we all know that this cosmology goes way deeper than this. But this is something that I seen that also reminded me of the representation of the equinoxes, and I wanted to kind of speak on that a bit. Okay, so now let's talk about something that's a little more modern to us. Hoodoo is one of the things that I do often. And no, I'm not just inviting everybody in. So we not gonna do that. Nah, nah, nah. But I do want to talk about how energetically the spring equinox ties in to hoodoo. Okay. The spring energy brings about a powerful energy of cleansing, planting the new seeds for the harvest. Okay. So, as we were younger, I know a lot of us always remember that when the spring came around, there was this big thing about spring cleaning, right? All right. There was a reason for that because it was a time that we took the time to get rid of stagnant old things that no longer served a purpose to us. Okay. So that we can make room for the new blessings that were about to be bestowed upon us. Okay. So think about it as you are planting the seeds of the harvest right now. That is what we need to be doing with this spring equinox energy, is planting the seeds for the harvest to come later down the road. Okay. The spring equinox is us planting the seeds, while the fall equinox is us benefiting from that harvest. Okay. So this is a time for deep cleansing. So this is a good time for people to practice things such as spiritual baths, floor washes, resetting altars if you do that, and doing some road opening works. Okay? Because once again, we're going back all the way to the astrology point. We are in a state of initiating and starting something new. This is a time to start anew. Get rid of that old stagnant energy that no longer serves you, because at this point we are transforming. We are stepping into the new level. We are stepping into our new selves. Okay? So, let's talk about floor washes for a bit. With these floor washes, actually, you know what? Let me talk about some herbs before I start talking about the floor washes and spiritual baths, okay? Some good herbs for you to use during this time would be my OGs, the dynamic duo that I love to use all the time is Hyssop and Rue. Hyssop and Rue are some good herbs that you can use during this time. Angelica root is also a good one to use during this time. Okay. Dandelion, lemon balm, calendula. For some reason, I am thinking Damiana. Damiana has a dominant energy to it as well. Okay. These are some herbs that you can use to try to move forward and break through this energy. Coffee, chicory root as well. Okay. So now let's go back to these floor washes. Okay. On Sunday morning, I know, not really Sunday morning. I don't know why I said Sunday morning. We were getting ready for church then. Saturday morning, I know you remember somebody getting up, turning on that music, and cleaning the house from the top to the bottom. We all have fond memories of that. And that wasn't just, that was something that we used for survival, okay? That was that energetic cleanse that I'm talking about. Okay, so floor washes at this time. Some good ingredients that you can add to your floor wash to help reset the energy around you is going to be ammonia. Okay, ammonia is going to get rid of all that stagnant energy. Florida water is a good thing to add a splash of into your water. Vinegar as well. Okay, so these are some things that you can add to your floor washes to help reset the energy within your home. Okay, when we're talking about spiritual baths, you can use some of those herbs that I've mentioned before to reset that energy within yourself. Okay. Another good thing to focus on around this time is, especially if you are somebody that practices ancestral veneration, is to reset your altar. Take some time to sit with your altar and see what needs to be changed around, what's no longer working in that area too. Because just as we need an energetic reset, they need an energetic reset as well. Okay? So with this energy of the new year, take some time to do something for the ancestors as well. Okay? Road opening work, as I mentioned, is another good thing for you to do at this time. Set those intentions on what you want to come to you. Okay? Take this time to do you some workings around those intentions that you set for the new year so that you can open the path, i.e., plant the seeds for your harvest. Okay? But honestly, this episode is kind of short, but I feel like we touched on everything that we can touch on with the spring equinox. But for you, this is the take home message that I want you to have. Use this energy wisely. Set the intentions on who you want to be and what you want. Okay? Remove all that stagnant energy. We're stepping into purpose and power. Because honestly, this year is a good year to do it. Because remember, we're in the year of that fire horse. I want to see all of us move forward. I want to see you move forward. And right now, using that energy of the spring equinox will help jumpstart you to get to where you need to be. Okay? And to close this out, I want to say that think about the seasons. The seasons are representative of the cycles that we go through in life. Okay? We have that cycle of blooming, that cycle of stepping into that power, the cycle of taking some time back and reflecting and going into introspection. And then we have that period of rest. Okay. Right now, we're in that season of blooming. Okay. And I really want you to plant the seeds so that we can thrive and step into what we need to. Okay. But that's all I have for you this week. And I don't know. I don't know where we're going to go after this, but I just know that there's only one way up from here, and that is up. Okay? All right. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I am so grateful for you to be here and to trust me with your energy. Okay? I love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all next week. Bye.